Good evening, my dear listeners, and welcome back to the CSA Cafe, where we talk about controversial topics about everything, anywhere, about anyone. As always, I'm your host, Ash, and today's sip is coming in hot. So grab your favorite drink, book, and get comfy. Hello, everybody. You're back to seeing just me, but this is a continuation of Sabaidee A&E episode 2, the Q&A. This is part two of the Q&A where the first part we were just talking about music interests and of all of the different types of artists and musics all around the world of what we like and who we listen to and we answered a couple of generic questions. I know, like I said, it went from the two of us to just me, and now it's gonna be just me, and then later on, hopefully, whenever this is aired, you will see from one to two again. But I thought to do my bit part first, because it is very difficult for the two of us to sync schedules and record an episode together. So I've talked to her and she said that I can just go ahead and do my bit part for everything now, because I know originally we said that we would do everything solo and then leave the most popular topic for when she's free. But given that we yap a lot collectively, I thought to share my bit part first and get your insight or opinions or whether you like my choices or not before going to her, because I want to shift the focus on kind of like splitting the profiles. First, you'll learn about Ash, and then later you'll just solely learn about Elle and her likes and interests and music tastes, books, all that kind of stuff. So, with that being said, sit tight, grab onto something because this is gonna be a highly controversial, debatable Q&A session, because I can almost guarantee you I'm going to get my own set of anti-fans, because my list, a lot of people are gonna have a lot to say about my list choices. Let's just leave it at that. You'll get what I mean. Feel free to chime in on the comments if you dare. Um, so with that being said, hold on your high horses, everybody. I don't have a drink today, but I have my grapes to accompany all of you. But I might not eat it until God knows when, because when I focus on something, I focus. Okay. So yeah. So let's start with the first question from the BL world. Um, all right then. The first question is my top five favorite actors or actresses. Um, I had a hard time. I um I had a hard time for my number one, especially my number one. Originally, it was not going to be two people on my number one spot, but I completely forgot about the number one people that got me into this fandom. And I was like, I needed to add them, whether I like it or not. Um, the first one being Pikan, Pikan Atapan. Um, everybody's gonna agree with me on this, that everybody likes him, and everybody who's a fan of somebody else, they're fans of this guy. And let me tell you, he deserves everything in this world. He deserves all the awards, the Grammys, the top nominee of everything. He deserves everything because that's how good his work is. All of his dramas are really good. All of his BL works are good. All of his movies are good. He has such an endearing personality. Everybody at work loves him. he has a nickname called Pinonggan, which because he's like the topmost seniority in the industry, but also he's usually the eldest among his groups of friends. But because of his small stature, that makes him so cute. Everybody likes to hug him, um, and give him little kisses and like take care of him and just wants to carry him everywhere. And he allows that too. So that's the fun part, right? And so shout out to Pigan. He's amazing. Currently I'm watching him on Leap Day. Man, he's good. He's really good. My next person, which again is on my top number one spot, I couldn't pick, is Boun Noppanut. Uh, uh, um, he's on my one of my display pictures in one of my socials. I always say, please look for the picture of Boun Noppanut. That's him. I find this boy can act, but also he's the guy that got me into the BL fandom. And then I shortly then got introduced that his on-screen partner is Prem Warut, and Boon Prem were my foot in the door. And then later on, I knew everybody else. Um, I knew of Earth Mix because I kept hearing the name Earth Mix, Earth Mix, like I and then but then when I was scrolling and I wanted to like do my research and I wanted to know more of the fandom, I stumbled upon Bowen's picture and then I asked my friends, I'm like, who is this gorgeous man? And then they were telling me, oh, that his name's Bowen, and then they told me about his story, about his heart condition and what he's been through, and then later on told me he's in this drama. Oh my God, he's gotten my heart. He's I really like his birthmark. I didn't know it was a birthmark. Like everybody else, everybody thought it was a cool highlight, but it's actually his birthmark, which is the like he has a patch of white hair, and everybody calls it angel hair or something because it just looks really cool. Just Google Boun Noppanut. Look at how gorgeous this man is. Just do just do it. Trust me. Number two, number two is Kalpang Tanawat. Uh, he has gotten my attention when I first watched my first ever BL drama, which will forever hold a great significance to my heart, Moonlight Chicken. That's the first ever drama I've ever got exposed to. And then I worked my way backwards to watch older stuff. But when I first clicked play on Moonlight Chicken, I was like, oh my God, it's Earth Mix, the people that I keep talking about. And then I was like, oh, okay, who is this? First Cow. Sold. They can both act. And then I realized, oh, okay, this is Gemini Fourth. Who's Gemini Fourth? So, but like, Moonlight Chicken was my first exposure to learning basically six different couples right from the get go. And shout out to Kautam. Well done. He also deserves all the awards in the world because this man has emotional impact when he's put on screen. Third is my goddess, my wifey, my another person that I feel like can act. Namtan Titnari. Now that woman is sexy, gorgeous, pretty, funny, athletic, hilarious. I think you get it. All right. Not my first exposure to her. Again, I think I worked backwards. I watched her, I knew of her, or like I was like, who is this woman? When I watched Midnight Museum. And then I again worked backwards, and then I saw her again in the Gifted series. And I was like, oh my God, it's her again. So now I'm done. Oh, again, disclaimer, all of my lists, there's no particular order, maybe probably except for the first top three. because I really couldn't put them in an orderly fashion, really honestly, because they all deserve great recognition and top spots, honestly. Number 4 is Pite Tawan. Pite is he's also a big senior in the industry. And when he's on screen, he surprises me because obviously I knew of him from off-screen behavior, from variety shows and other works that are not like dramas and movies. So I knew of him as the hilarious class clown, hyperactive kid before I saw him in I forgot what his I don't remember, but I think I saw him in the Gifted series, the second one, the first one or the second one, but both. He appeared more on in the second season, I think. But like his performance in the Gifted series was what made me research more about him, and I'm just like, this guy started very young, and till this day, presently in 2025, he still surprises me, irregardless. Um, his acting scares me, but that's the beauty of it. If he makes viewers either love or hate his character, that's how good of an actor he is, and that's how well he performs at his job. Is if he can make you love or hate his character, he's doing a splendid, well, A+ job. But otherwise, he's a cuddly, adorable sunshine. He's literally so approachable, funny, and he's huggable. So don't be scared of him. Don't be scared of him. The last one, which I have yet to finish, but with the so far limited screen time I've seen of him in this drama, it shows me he has a lot of potential and he knows what he's doing. And he again is another person that his acting work scares me because that's how good of a job he's doing. He has a strong impact as well, just like Tetawan. And that name is Jamie James. That's his nickname that he goes by. Um, I think everybody will know Jamie James as a former Nadao actor because the drama I'm currently watching that I have yet to finish is In Family We Trust. And it was before Nadao as a company shut down. So anybody has who's ever come from Nadao, or if you see someone who's insanely good at their job, chances are maybe they probably were formerly from that company. So that's a little tip. Okay, onwards to I'm gonna do this in order. If I can. Let me see. Did I? Okay, I'm gonna do this in order. So I did top favorite uh actors and actresses. I'm gonna do least favorite actors and actresses. And just for another disclaimer, sometimes my least favorite lists might not be least. Like I'm like, oh, I don't think this actor that because they're not doing a good job. Some I'll say it if I remember. Oh, ADHD brain. Sometimes my least favorite lists are should be renamed as least paid attention to list. So it's not necessarily that I might not like them as a actor or as a person, but yeah. But in this case, I think for when I say my top three, I think everybody will know where I'm coming from as to why I put them on the list. So here we go. Top 5 least favorite actors and actresses. Reigning at number 1 is Pavel Naret. Pavel from Pit Babe series. Um, Number two, Win Pawin. Uh, this is gonna be an enraging list. So yeah, like I said, hold on to your horses. Number three, Foy Patara. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Number four, okay, so disclaimer for number four and five is people I don't pay attention to much. Number four is Jun Wan Wimol. And number five is Ben Bunyapur. Uh yeah. Ben is from, I haven't watched it yet, but Ben is most notably known for Step by Step series. Um Next topic, or sorry, next question would be um okay, let's work. Let's do this. Next question would be my top favorite series and then my least favorite series. So my top favorite series, I probably said a couple already. There was too many since I'm still kind of new to the fandom. Um, it was really hard for me to condense it to my top five. But reigning at number one is Last Twilight. Pretty straightforward, self-explanatory. Last Twilight is a masterpiece. People have comments to say because apparently the ending or leading up to the ending it was very controversial, but I don't think so. Maybe because I belong to the disabled community and so that's why it touches my heart so much and that I understand why the ending is how it is. But I also understand why the ending should be something else. However, I'm not going to be like those fans and argue about it because I see why. But like for those that are gonna continue pushing about it, I'm just gonna exit myself out of that conversation. Um, Number two, rating at number two. You thought it would be number one, but Last Twilight chucked that position and they are now rating at number two, which is Moonlight Chicken. And Moonlight Chicken, although it was my first BL drama, is at number two now because no particular reason really. But when I first watched it, the cinematography was great. The OST was great. Everything was so nostalgic and familiar because they were focusing on a Thai Chinese vibe. Because the theme song for Moonlight Chicken is basically a rendition of the boys singing a classic a classic Chinese song that everybody knows. Just you Google Moonlight Chicken theme opening or OST or something. The one that you see that has a lot of people featuring on that track, that's the song. The song is called in English, it's called The Moon Represents My Heart. You can write that, add Moonlight Chicken and it'll give you that version. Just trust me, press play. Sounds amazing. Third is the Gifted series, both season one and two. I really love anything that has to do with fantasy and supernatural powers and anything raining about like social justice, disability, advocacy, that kind of stuff. It was a dang ass good series, and I would totally rewatch it. I think when this series was out, everybody was thinking when they saw the actors like out and about, they were probably kind of like calling them by their character names and trying to make them kind of like act out their special power. It was hilarious. But yes, the Gifted series. Go watch it. Go watch it. It's really good. If you like suspense, psychological thriller, action, drama, it's infused with everything. Fourth one, which I pretty much also hinted there, even though I'm not done, it is a dang ass good series. It's kind of long. It's long, but it's good. In Family We Trust. Or how I dub it to Elle is In Family We Don't Trust. That's how stressful this series is, but it's filmed in a way that it's both enjoyable with a little bit of humor, very dramatized. However, it's an all-rounder that makes you feel all the feels. And then every episode that you finish, you kind of come out dazed or frustrated because of the cliffhangers, or you come out sobbing, or like you just lose your mind when you watch it. So, and then last one being One D Good Day. I had to put that on my list because it'll forever be the series where I watched the last episode with Elle in person in Michigan. And so it will forever hold a special place in my heart. This drama reigns chaos, it reigns hilarity, drama, romance, a slice of life, a little bit. Again, everything. Everything. Watch it. Okay. Next, top five least favorite series. I can tell you this right now that on this list, um, I have never watched a single episode in full. I've seen the clips and I was like, just from the clips, I'm like, yeah, it's enough for me to make a decision. Be like, nope, never gonna watch this series ever. Number one, Holding Strong, Tan Type. Now, I know that drama was hugely popular. Huge, huge. Because everybody knows of the iconic Ice Cube scene. See, I haven't watched it, I know about it. But I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. Because I know what the story's about. Like most of the storyline, like what it's about. I'm not gonna say it here because it's hugely triggering, and that's probably why I don't want to watch it. Next one is also very popular, especially during when COVID era was at its peak, is Together the series. I'm not gonna say much, but yes, Together the series. Third one. See, I was gonna watch it, but I ended up just chucking it out the window. I'm like, nope, never mind. Because I'm watching so many already, and then I was still on my researching phase. I'm still in my researching phase. I'm just like, I'm probably never gonna backtrack and go and watch it fully, which is Love by Chance. No. Third, okay, fourth, okay. Fourth and fifth are, I can understand that it'll be debatable and or controversial. Especially the fourth one. Fourth one's going to be hugely controversial. But you're never going to make me watch it. Not in a million years. I just, but I no, I cannot see the two of them working together on screen. I can watch separately their works, I guess, but I can never watch it when they're together on screen. So because especially I can tell you for one of the special episodes of some other series, when they were together on screen, I couldn't I no, I couldn't help but feel uncomfortable. And it's not because of what happened to them. This was even prior to what happened to them. I don't know why. It just doesn't sit with me well. But however, I can watch their individual solo works just fine. But obviously them being together or not together, I both acknowledge that they know what they're doing, they can act, and they have impact. But reigning at number 4 is Bad Buddy. You probably can't see, but I'm also bracing myself on the other side here. But that's all I'm gonna say. So you can see because like I watching them on our Sky 2, like I don't know how I got through it. But I got through to it, maybe because Earth Mix was also in that little crossover. That's what just made me stay. But like for the time that they were showing up together on screen, I had a hard time. But I can watch Kidnap the series just fine because it's just And then I can watch Gifted series just fine because Nanon was by himself with other co-stars. It's just I don't know what it is, but when you put the two of them on screen together, it's just you just feel something that's not right. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. And then lastly, number 5. I know there's a second season coming out next month. I'm probably gonna watch the second. I'm gonna give the second one a try, but I couldn't. I didn't. You will never see me watch the first one because it is highly too graphic for me as an ace to trudge through all 13 episodes, which is Pit Babe, the series. I saw the trailer for the second one. It looks so much better than the first one, but then again, I don't know because Pit Babe, the series as a whole, is quite the graphic series. So you can now know me as a person. I always have Elle kind of be my guinea pig, so to speak, to test out series that I find are very spicy, that I might know that I will feel very uncomfortable with. I have her watch it on my behalf if she's going to watch the full thing. I have her watch the episode first and then tell me whether or not it's too much. And then from her inference, I make a decision whether or not to follow through and watch with her. Because I'm one to not wanting to skip anything. At most, you would see me cover my face with a binder, but I would not skip those bits because for me, if I skip even remotely just anything, I instantly lose the story because I follow through from beginning to end. And if I just skip solely like a part I don't like or whatever, my brain just instantly tells me, oh, the whole episode just I chucked it out the window because I don't know what happened because I skipped the entire bit part, whether or not it serves the plot line. I just can't afford to skip anything. Yeah. Next question. Top 5 BL ships that are my favorite. Okay, I had to change it so many times, but I can tell you now where it reigns. But I can also tell you what it used to be. So let me start with the actual list and then let me backtrack and tell you who they were. And then I'll tell you how I switched the order. So first of all, I'm gonna go in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then I'll tell you what used to be my top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll tell you like at some point while I was making this list, I went back and went like, okay, the ranking bit was bad. So I rearranged the numbers and I was like, this does not sound right. Let me change the ranking. So it's very this is gonna be very messy here. So my top 5, I'm gonna be doing a lot of things. So I'm gonna I'm gonna start now. I'm gonna be doing a lot of things because I have my desktop open, so and people are talking to me, so you might see me not, So hold on. Um, okay, so number one for top BL ships, I can't believe I forgot. When I first saw it, I was like, why aren't they number one? That's why I keep switching numbers. So top number first most favorite BL ship is Boon Prem. It must be Boon Prem because they were my gateway to the BL fandom. I can't forget about them. And their mascot is really cute, and it's not because I'm biased. Because there are a lot of mascots that are super cute. And right now, Hokasan is reigning my heart because his voice is so cute when he talks. But as you can see, I'm not biased. I'm not. Polka-san has taken over my entire feed of every single social media that I own. But Powdy, when they created Powdy, and it was a very creative. All of their mascots is a combination of what the ship couple likes, and then they fuse it together as their mascot name, or like it has some significance. It has a meaning behind it. And with Bun Prem, their Powdy, Pao comes from Salapao, which is Prem's nickname for steam bun because his cheeks are so chubby like a steam bun. That's what Bun says. And then dy is the ending suffix from candy because Bun really likes candy. So Pao Di is their kid. It's so cute. Reigning at number two, Jimmy C. No explanation needed. Just Jimmy C. And also with their kid Avo Ocean, so cute. But Avo Ocean can't speak, and it's hilarious how the parents Jimmy C are like picking at their own kid and being like, why can't you speak? Your other friends can. Why can't you? It's hilarious. Avo Ocean comes from the root word avocado, which Jimmy is the top number one avocado lover. So avocado, avo. Ocean. Ocean comes from sea. Sea's nickname, ocean, beach. Avo Ocean. Pretty straightforward. Number three, they are taking over my life, honestly, when I watched Forever You. I didn't watch it in full, but I watched enough to know what the story is about. And I'm just like, I'm going to be watching the second part when it comes out. I'm going to be watching the second part fully from beginning to end. But the third one being Maki and Bas. And they recently came out with a fandom name finally too, which is Six Code. And I'm a huge Six Code. Like I just and and it Six Code comes from the combination of from their real names. Uh Rat Rachata, yeah, Rachata and Hasanat. Rahat Rahat in Thai is code, so six code. It's very smart, very creative. It rings. So Maki Bass, number three. Well done. Uh Number four is Great In. Uh Great Sapur and Insarin. Um they were the leads for One D Good Day. And they're gonna be the leads for their new series they're currently still filming. Memories of Rati is their new work. But even before that, Pigre was featured in the second season of a J drama, interestingly. I'm probably just gonna skip the first season and watch the second season because he's in it. But I was surprised to know he spent time in Japan, and I thought it was for a long vacation that he needed, which is also kind of true. But apparently he was there for the longest time for working a series, and I didn't know until he came back home and revealed and be like, so I was actually in Japan for work, and I just go find just I forgot what the name is, but if you find his profile and you find his filmography, you'll find it. It's there. But reigning at number four is Great In. Insarin, I swear to God, he can be Book's brother as well as Pinui's brother. Because the three of them are like triplets to me, I swear to God. And that and this man Insarin is like he has a handful of a lot of businesses. So he's Mr. CEO to me because he has so many businesses. Number three, or sorry, number five. See, I crossed it out because originally it was somebody else. But I was like, if I don't put them on the list, whatever number it falls on, I'm not going to do them justice because I'm forever going to be waiting for their newest series to come out because it's the first time they're playing actual leads of a drama that's set to come out, and they're filming it. They're recently filming it. I don't know what queue number they're on right now, but they're finally filming it, and I'm just like, oh, I can't wait till it comes out. And it's Winnie Satan. I can tell you this right now, it used to be Sky Nanny. But not to fret, Sky Nanny is still on my list. Because now I can reverse it and I can tell you what my list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was. And then later on, I can tell you how messed up the system was for me when I was rearranging the ranking. So prior to the list that you just heard, the list before more or less was basically flipped. The first one that I wrote was Jimmy C because they were my longest obsession for the longest time. The second one was Sky Nanny because everybody, including the whole entire GMM building, was raining Imina Sky Nanny because they really want them to work together, like literally in a BL series. They worked together in High School Frenemy, which is the Thai remake of a K drama, School 2013. And because of High School Frenemy, everybody started loving Sky Nanny. And then now they are going to be in a new drama called Wu, WU. Again, it's a bromance one. But I also recently saw news that I don't know who the director is, but some director approved of Sky Nanny to be BL leads for some drama he has in mind. And I'm just like, oh my God, is this legit? So Sky Nanny. I'm also part of the Imina Sky Nanny. So make it third, they took over my life ever since the last few episodes of Perfect Ten Liner, which is Junior Makji, or people would like to say Juma. Pretty self-explanatory. Speaking of Junior Panachai, got his name right. Junior Panachai. For the longest time, I just didn't know or I forgot at one point that he came from Nadao, and because I was thinking, oh my God, this boy can act. He made me cry. He made me laugh. He made me angry. He has impact. And then I realized, oh my God, he was a former Nadao actor, and I'm just like, all of the actors that used to come from Nadao are taking over my life because Sky Nanny, Sky Wong Nawi, was a former Nadao actor as well, and I was appalled. That's how good they are. Number four, I know that's why I didn't do him justice. I didn't do them justice. No, I put number four as Boon Prem. I am sorry. And then number five, I put number five as Great In. So that used to be my list prior. And then I didn't know what the hell was happening to my brain. For the second time, I changed the ranking. I put number two for Jimmy C. I put number four for Sky Nanny. I put number five for Junior Makji. And then I put number one as Boon Prem. And then I put number three for Great In. And then for the third time, that's when I switched it in order and I switched some of the people out. And then my true list was the first list you ever heard. I know it's very confusing hearing this right now. But that's I changed this list 3 times. Okay, now from top favorites to least wrong one. From top favorites to least favorite ships. I would like to rename this as least most paid attention to. Least paid attention to, sorry. But also for the top two, they reign the top two spot just cuz. And some fans might agree with me why, even if I'm not gonna say it. But for 3, 4, and 5, let me just say maybe probably it's my least most paid attention to ships. They're not necessarily my least favorite. They have potential. I have yet to see them in stuff to change my mind. But anyways, reigning at number one is Pavel Poo. Again, they are the leads for Pit Babe series. Number two is similar to how I can't see Omnanon on screen, but yet I can see their solo works just fine. However, I don't really see one of their solo works yet. But I've seen the other person solo, and he I think he has impact. Number two is Chris Sinto. I've never seen Chris solo works before, but I have, and I still have yet to finish Sinto's drama, which apparently a lot of people thought it was a flop, but I'm liking it, and I'm almost done it. So that tells you, for my opinion at least, that that drama is really good. It's called Shadow, and this was his solo work with Fluk Natat. This was prior to him coming back to GMM because he left for a while and then he came back. But Crisinto reigns at number two. Number three, I think they have potential. They're growing. I've seen them in Midnight Museum. They are going to be in the new drama with Sikin as the second lead. Is Indie Java, Java Indie. I don't know the ship name order, but it's Indie Java, which they have potential. I can see that they would be very popular because they certainly grabbed my attention in Midnight Museum, being cameoing in an episode. Number four, I'm gonna see them in I'm gonna see them in a drama. Forgot the name now. Oh, Love Upon a Time. They're in it, so I have yet to see their potential, but I know that they know what they're doing. They know their stuff. Latte Kim from DMD. And number five, they are a very popular ship. Again, like I said, it's not that I don't like them, but I pay attention to them the least because I still have yet to watch any of their prior dramas before their new one. I think because they're coming out with a new one, that's the only one I'm going to be paying attention to whenever that comes out because I saw the trailer for it and it grabbed my interest. And that's probably going to be my first exposure to this couple. But I've seen clips of their prior works and they've gotten my attention, but I just haven't had time to watch any of their works in full yet. The last one reigning at number five is Ta'u Off-Road. And I know that they were formerly in a T-pop group called Last One, and then they branched off to being individual actors or soloists, and they still till this day interact with the members. So I know stuff. I pay attention. Um, so my list that's my list of BL. Oh, I was not gonna miss this. Okay. We had another question about um if you could build your BL dream family, who would it be? So basically, like the question is basically if you were to live with any of the Thai actors, actresses, singers, whatever. Like if you could live with anybody from the Thai entertainment industry, who would you pick? And not really why. There's not really a why. If there is a why, then explain. But if not, then I can just give you a visual. But the family members of choice were you pick a mom, pick a dad. If you want kids, son, daughter, both, who cares? If you want siblings, one or two, up to you. And then grandparents, again, one or two. So up to you to build your dream fantasy BL family. So because this was like a last minute added question by somebody, I last minute kind of put a list together, but honestly, again, I had a hard time because it could be literally anybody, right? Um, so my so this is my dream family. And you can tell that I'm biased probably towards one particular company because they are the people I was the most exposed to first. Um, so my mom would be my goddess, GL crush, Namtan Tipnari as the mother. My father would be Pika Natapan. My kids would be I couldn't pick just one. So I have two kids, which would be Boss Book. Shout out to Force Book. They would be the bestest kids, chaotic kids ever. They would not make my life boring. I would love that. I didn't have a sister in mind, but I would pick my brother to be Pite Tawan. He would be the bestest protective big brother ever. I love him. And then my grandparents would be Great In because I couldn't choose. But they would be a badass grandparent to have. Like I again, we will not go hungry because In Zarin again is the CEO of many food businesses. So that is my dream family. Uh, but I just realized it would be a chaotic hold, regardless, or a chaotic family tree. Because Namtam is really hilarious. Pikan can be hilarious. Force Book is also very loud and hilarious. Pite, there's never a boring day with Pite. And then Great In, they can be unhinged. So unhinged. So again, I would never have a boring family life with all of them combined. It would be a very loud house, however. That would be the only downside. I can't think of any other downside at the moment. Because like I said, I came up with this idea on the fly to to build a goddamn family. So ah I thought to also add in a bonus question, which I feel like I asked myself, which is because I feel like it falls under this topic anyway, is who did you get noticed by online? Or who did you ever get noticed by famous people in your life, like ever? You can also interpret the question like that. And and there's no particular order. Again, Um, but I can tell you where I got noticed from because I have so many social media platforms. I can't tell you when or how many times precisely because um even my brain doesn't, even if I wrote it down and I had like a record somewhere, like I wrote it down in my notes, but I you tell me to pull it back up, I really honestly don't remember. But I can tell you that this is 100% not me making it up because I'm one to not lie. Um, give me a quick second. I will be right back. Sorry, I had something to take care of. I'm back now. But uh, yes, the last question that I wanted to answer is of who we got noticed by or who I got noticed by. But then again, who I got noticed by is also who Elle got noticed by for a big majority of these, except for maybe two or three. But I'm pretty sure she will offer her insight of who she got noticed by. But again, I didn't number this off, but I literally just wrote down all the people that I got noticed from. One of them being a big famous person, but I thought to also put it in the T-pop or the put it in the Thai industry section of this Q&A because it's in the right category in the because it's answering the question. But anyways, okay, let me stop blathering and tell you. Um, the one that mostly kept noticing me was the first one that I kept being obsessed over for months, which is Si Tawinan. Jimmy Si Tawinan. He saw some of my Twitter stuff that I either reposted or I wrote something, literally like I wrote something and then I press post. He liked it and I was going absolutely nuts when I got the notification. I was doing a double take and I was slapping myself because I'm like, is this a dream? Is this real? So um yes, Si Tawinan uh recognized or acknowledged me a couple times. Um Second person, I guess it kind of is in order in terms of how much I get recognized by them. Second person that recognized me quite like maybe twice or three times. What first time it was collectively me and Elle, and then third second time was when I solo sent him something that I made and I tagged him and I'm like, look, I made this. I woke up the next day, got a notification saying that he liked it. I was like, oh my God. Because he's like us. He's chronically online, like all of us fans. And he also revealed he's neurodivergent. So he's like us. Yay! It's not a secret because he literally revealed it on Twitter. So second one is Mek Jirakit, former GMM actor. You might have seen him in oh my gosh. You've seen him in Star in My Mind featuring Jundang. And then he had his own spin-off from Star in My Mind, uh Sky in My Heart or something with Makji, that Mekjirakit, whom is a brother of another GMM actress, Mook. What's her name? Muk Waranit is his sister. And it's the funniest story ever that they almost fooled the entire company, especially C, because I spoke about C. C believed for the longest time a joke or a lie that Mook told him that the two siblings were actually a married couple because their names are so similar, or that they like they got married and that's why their names are similar. They ran with that joke for the longest time, and only like one or two people knew of the truth, but they wanted to keep the joke running to see how gullible he was. And then obviously at the end they told him, like like literally they told him, "Oh, we're not a married couple, we're siblings." And the shock that he felt on his face, but he was also very embarrassed because he got fooled and he felt bad for, I guess, mislabeling them. But they were chill about it. They were like, "It's okay, it's okay." But like it's hilarious till this day, this story that C thought that the two siblings were a married couple. But anyways, yes, Mek Jirakit. He I got noticed by Mek Jirakit, and he is Elle's first ever Thai BL actor crush. Still is. And she recently got noticed again by him on Instagram. And I was like, "Oh my god. Oh my god." And I think Mek knows that we're a couple too. Because one of the many recognitions was that it I tagged her, and I think it was something about telling him that we're together, or that you'll always see our names together. It's like we got his blessing at some point. I don't know, but it was really cute. So he knows we exist. Third is a former Me Mine Y actor. He recently left the company. He's gone independent now. And everybody's thinking whether or not his new on-screen partner is Top Tap, because Top Tap is gonna be in a new upcoming DMD project, or I mean a new DMD series, and his partner in that series was P. But then everybody is seeing him with Top Tap, and everybody is kind of questioning whom his real life on-screen partner will be. Here, let me one second. I'll come back. Sorry, I'm sweating, and there was my heater turned on. Oh my god, I'm sweating now. Um, but okay, the third person that I got noticed on, so the first two I got noticed on Twitter, C and Meg. This third one, third and fourth person, I got noticed on TikTok live, like when they were doing TikTok lives, and uh I was not expecting him to read out everything because he was paying attention to the chat box, and I was like, "Damn, he's reading everything and he's answering my questions," and I'm just like, "Ah!" And so like I said, he's a former Me Mine Y actor. You might have known him from Wedding Plan, the series. Um, and his name is Sunny Wanarat. I didn't know he knew English quite fluently. And he, on his live, when he turned on live, he was uh, in a shop first trying on clothes and stuff to show us fans. And then later on, he was trying to catch a taxi to go to Chula to go eat. And he already graduated from Chula, but he wants to go back to school just for the cafeteria food or something. And then and then later on, before he ended the live, he said that he had to go because he's currently in a movie theater or something, and he had to leave. But like during the time that he was on, obviously it was late for me because I was in bed already. And then but I had to exit and then come back because I forgot. But I exited and came back and he was still live, thankfully. So then I was like, oh my God. And so and he was reading out comments and stuff. At one point when he was riding the school bus shuttle to another building within Chula, he switched to typing responses to fans, and I was like, damn, accessibility. But like, yeah, I got shouted out by Sunny quite a few times, and so I felt loved. He was hilarious. He was straightforward. He was direct, blunt, charismatic. I completely different from on screen, obviously. Uh, but yeah, no, but celebrities offline, off screen, behaviors never fail to impress me or surprise me. I don't know why, but that's just the case. So that's number 3. Number 4 that I've gotten recognized quite a lot of times, even though I tuned in his lives twice. Number 4 being Luke Ishikawa. GMM's Luke Ishikawa plowed in. He reads out the chat box at times if he can catch it, and I've gotten shouted out by him a few times, and I love it. It just feels so nice to be acknowledged, and that this totally then debunks that celebrities don't know that you exist. They do know you exist. They sometimes even remember your name. Sometimes remember, like, they remember your impact. So this debunks my mom's claim that they don't know who you are or that they don't care that you exist. First of all, I know that they must, because fans make majority of the fandom, and that without fans help, the celebrity wouldn't become a well-known celebrity. But also, I don't think it's true, not fully anyway, that if they didn't have any fans, like nobody would care for whom the celebrity is or whatever. Because even if fans suddenly not become fans of a certain person, that their popularity instantly drops to the ground and they will, you know, cease to exist. I don't think so, because there's always gonna be, like, whatever fandom you join, whether or not majority of them leave. I feel like for every fandom there has to be a very loyal bunch to stay through thick and thin, to quote unquote rebuild the fandom and help them rise back up again, type of thing. And to say that she thinks I'm very pessimistic, or people think I'm very pessimistic, I'm actually very super goddamn optimistic to a fault. And that's probably why people don't like me. I don't know. Because I try to see the good in everything and everyone, and that's what makes me an easy target. I don't know. But like, I don't think it's a we can go on and on for this thing on another episode, but like, I just wanna put it out there. Yeah, I just want to put it out there. And um but yeah, Luke Ishikawa has noticed me quite a couple times. And for the recent live that he hosted on Sunday, I got noticed again, and he always makes my day whenever he goes on live if I can catch it. He always makes my day. He makes my whole week, he makes my whole month. He, like, all of these, like, acknowledgments, if I get noticed by someone or something or some, like, anything, I I get super happy. I'm not that hard to impress or make happy with. That You know what I mean. But I'm very easy to love, like Elle said. I'm very easy to love. I'm very easy to please. I'm very easy to be impressed. It doesn't take much effort to make me happy, I guess. Um, Now this I left the grand finale for the end because I would have never thought in a million years I would meet someone in person. Like this is a legit celebrity. Again, I was slapping myself mentally because it happened in a place where I was supposed to stay cool and calm down, but I obviously couldn't do it at the end. I had to ask all of my colleagues to be like, "Can I have a hug?" Because that's the only way for me to stop my autistic joy from flying off the walls because I literally was at work when this happened. I will probably make a separate episode about this because there is no flipping way I'm gonna make it into this. Uh, I will not be able to reveal the full story from beginning to end because this is gonna be a very super long video. I'm gonna keep you guys on your toes. Literally, I'm gonna keep you guys on your toes because I'm not gonna tell you unless I get enough. Like, no, I'm joking. I'm not like that. I'm not for likes or comments, but I'm gonna keep you in suspense with this cliffhanger after I finish. That I'm gonna make my viewers probably be like, no, spill the whole story. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. I met this guy in person and I this brought back so much nostalgia. It felt like the entire place stopped in time and I time traveled back to 2005. Even though I didn't stand K-pop until like 2009 onwards. But like I knew they debuted in 2005 or something. And they will forever be very huge and a big impact to the K-pop world because they literally, along with Boa, I feel like they also paved the way to K-pop. They must because again, they are huge veterans, huge seniority celebrities. They still are because of the impact that they do for their other works as judges and stuff. They mean business. So without further ado, I'm literally making you guys all frustrated. I'm sorry. Without further ado, I'm gonna tell you that the person I've met at work by chance, because we have two floors of where I work, and by chance I was downstairs. I can tell you this right now, without me having to lift my head up, when he first spoke, when he came through the door, I was like, hell to the fucking no. Do I really think like is that really him? And then I got really scared and slightly nervous and I'm just like I would recognize that voice anywhere. It sounded so close in proximity, I thought I was hallucinating. But lo and behold, he was smack right in front of me, like maybe like 5 feet. Like, I don't know. But the person that I've met was okay, hold on, let me get his name right. It's not that I don't know his name. I don't want to get it wrong. Oh goodness. So this day, me looking at him. Okay, so without further ado, by chance and by luck, I met Unyok from Super Junior in person at work. Even me just telling you just his name and where I met him my mind just flashed back to that moment. And it's still taking me back. Long story short, let's just say I completely forgot they were on their tour and that I didn't know that they had a free day to like just hang out. I saw one of the two people because I didn't know that they would be split. So I saw Unya, but in my mind I was wondering, oh, did him and Donghae split up and didn't come along? I quickly then Google. This was prior to knowing that they were on tour because I completely forgot they were going to come here. I had to Google to find out that they were here for their concert tour and Toronto being, I think, their last stop. I think we were like the second to last stop. We were the second to last stop of the tour. And then I quickly then realized, yeah, they split up. So Unyok had his own free time. Donghae had his own free time. They would meet up later for lunch. So he obviously came with a couple of his dancer friends and a bodyguard, of course, whereas Donghae was somewhere else. Obviously, with details I'm probably going to tell you later. I don't want to spill too much again because it's going to be long. But you can't make this up. I don't know how people can make things up so easily without feeling uncomfortable or cringy because I can't make stuff up. I can't lie. Or rather, like everybody says in the autistic community, autistics probably maybe can lie, but what they can't tolerate is ingenuineness. So that's probably why I keep saying I can't lie, because if it's not genuine, I can't bring myself to even say it. And no, I'm not lying. I am not lying. The reason why I did a little bit of a so-called awkward silence is for my viewers and myself a little bit to let that info sink in. It still till this day feels so goddamn unreal. Obviously, when it happened, I was literally wearing a hoodie and full-blown uniform. And I think I forgot my phone at my workstation. So I went to him without my phone or anything. But I can guarantee you, because I wanted to respect his time and privacy, that probably it wasn't allowed. But again, I didn't even have it with me because I had an empty. I carried a little side sling bag, but all it had was my name tag and an empty sling bag because, like I said, I left my phone at my workstation. But I got to talk to him because at the first time when I saw him, I just saw him, and then I tried to make it discreet and I didn't follow him. Like I literally was doing my rounds, but like when I got his attention, although I know the bodyguard kind of scared me. He was just doing his job. I know, but when I got his attention, because all I wanted to focus was on him, because all I beelined him, because I wanted to talk to him not through his bodyguard. It's kind of similar to you are supposed to talk to the deaf person, not to their interpreter. Same rules apply. I got to talk to him for like 5 seconds, and I just wanted to say because I was not sure. I blurred my Korean, even though I am fluent. I think I'm fluent, but because he was a big influence to when I grew up, I was saying something. 혹시 은혁 오빠? Literally, I couldn't say more, but I was like, could you be the 은혁? And he said yes in English. And then I when it registered, all I said was I'm a big fan of you. I think that's all that came out of my mouth. I just said I'm a big fan of you. And then he smiled and said thank you. And he bowed to me because he had to go. He didn't buy anything, but his friends did. But I saw until his exit. But obviously, after he spoke to me, I had to go back. I turned around and I hugged all of my colleagues to try and calm down. And I still made eyeball with him. Like I still saw him. He still saw me because I was clearly about to pass out. But he probably knew I I don't know if I was supposed to do that. But like I guess I got him shocked because I was trying to maintain my excitement. But like after a while, after a few hugs from my friends, I calmed down. I went upstairs. I got my other friends really scared of me. Or not scared of me. I got my other friends jealous of me because they're like, why didn't he make his trip upstairs too? I wanted to see him too. Because he only stayed downstairs, right? Um, but I still saw to it when I came back downstairs after I calmed down. They were almost back out the front door, but I got to see them one more time. His friends checked out and then they left. And then the rest of the shift, I was like, I was in a daze. But anyway, this is lots of detail already, and there's still so much I left out. So let me know if you want me to have a specific, or you just want me to have one solo isolated episode just talking about this. But all I can tell you is that again, I'm gonna debunk my mom's claim that people look different with and without makeup because I can tell you this right now. He looks exactly the same. And he was so chill about it. He looks exactly the same with or without makeup. He was so down to earth and he trusts us fans a lot because he walked around without a mask. That's how much he trusts the fandom not to mob him. And I didn't mob him either. I was staying my distance. I was standing quite far away from him until he himself looked back and knew that I was waiting to get his attention. And I did. So, but yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's it. I don't know when you're going to see this again online. Um, but it's probably best if I can either fuse it with L's. I'm gonna see how long this is. If it's like super long, how long can I see how long it is? How long have I been recording? I don't know. But let me or maybe I don't have to fuse it with her stuff. Maybe I can just upload this solo bit and just make an entirely separate video for when Elle comes back. So I guess this is part two, just me. Part three will just be solely Elle's bit. Like I said, I honestly don't know how many parts there are, but like part three, four, five, I just. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next part. Bye.